How's it going, YouTube? It's your boy Kilo Gaming TV, aka just Kilo. Today we're here with Far Cry 5, and yeah, if anybody really does not know that Far Cry 5 is, yeah, they can. But for anybody that don't know, Far Cry 5 is not only like a tactical shooter game, but it's more doing with religion in general. Like take for instance, you have Jacob, Faith, and John. It's kind of hard to explain, but everything that's happening here is kind of happening in real life. These people here are not only rebellious against the government and practice their religion, but they're being. Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game. But like, take for instance how they're being attacked in this game by government officials, aka law enforcement. That's actually happening in today's society. The Christian religion is getting attacked from all sides because for some reason in today's society everybody frowns upon people being Christian. It's just, yeah. But yeah, like I said, it is a good game. I've beat this game like twice. Then I started playing Far Cry 6. I've seen some stuff in Far Cry 6 that I really didn't see in this game. Like take for instance the Large Hadron Collider, which is associated with CERN. If anybody knows what CERN is, it's a place in Geneva, Switzerland. It's hard if y'all hear that bumping. It's my 2-year-old, but it's a place in Geneva, Switzerland, where they use the Large Hadron Collider to collide particles at like high rates of speed, and they came out with the Higgs boson, the God particle, in 2012, which brought dark entities into our society. That's why after 2012 a lot of chaos started happening. But yeah.
Building process has begun.
The third temple building process has begun. Can you define what you mean by that?
And they sacrificed the red
heifer. See, I was actually going to go on TikTok and talk conspiracy theories today and all of this stuff that's going on in America, but yeah, for some reason TikTok don't like conspiracy theories. So what do? They ban us. And I really don't understand why, we're supposed to be free thinkers in America, but yet we can't be conspiracy theorists. And, I don't know. Die. It's crazy. Where you at? There you are. I hear more people. Oh, well, I thought I did.
The third temple is what they talked about in the Bible, which is what will be built before they introduce the Antichrist.
Well, at least turn it down.
I'm gonna have to read that part of the Bible. I mean, I've read my Bible and everything. I do read my Bible, but it's like, you know. Ooh, ooh. Nope. You better not. My favorite Bible verse would have to be Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against rulers and principalities. That's my favorite Bible verse.
I guess I owe you one then.
Because it's talking about we don't need to be fighting amongst each other as a Christian nation. We need to be in unity and actually stop all of this satanic witchery that's going on in America right now at this very given moment. I mean, if you know American history and you know a lot about what's going on in America from the deep state to the well, come on, bring it to the cabal and how these people worship Baal, and which is a satanic deity, right along with Moloch. They worship Moloch at the Bohemian Grove. And there's a whole bunch of satanic stuff going on in America right now. We really don't need it here. So it's really best if we get rid of all the satanic stuff while we can, because if not, then America will fall. Just putting that out there and let people know.
Have you heard about Burning Man?
No, can you elaborate to me about Burning Man? I'm more into like studying conspiracy, well, not studying conspiracies, but researching conspiracies, going down the line, trying to connect the dots, you know what I mean? Because it's a must that people wake up. But you can tell me about the Burning Man. I'm open to learn, so join in the bliss.
That's something.
Yeah, like I said, I'm open to learn. Cause I got a lot of knowledge. If you know what I mean, I got more knowledge than indoctrination. Like I'm nowhere near indoctrinated, but yeah, I think y'all about to get me. They probably running to about it.
It's a festival in the desert that people go to every year. I've heard some crazy things about it on TikTok. I personally came to the conclusion.
I'm gonna have to look it up. Do you know about where at in America that this happens at? See, I'd look at TikTok myself, but yeah, like I said, they just banned me today on TikTok for just talking conspiracy theories.
Can't fight no more.
And to be honest with you, I think that's the reason why all of this stuff is happening in America right now, you know, such as like shootings and, well, senseless violence, because they want to strip Americans of their fundamental rights, such as the Second Amendment. That way we have no means to defend ourselves from any kind of attack, whether it be foreign or domestic. And I'm starting to tend to think that all of these laws that are put into effect that apply to law-abiding citizens, I think that they are used to criminalize us.
Two girls said there was a baby born in chaos. Now there are no notifications.
I'm gonna have to look into that, because I mean, I like calling everything out, to be honest with you. If I can figure out exactly where it happened, I will expose it myself, because everybody needs to know the truth instead of fabricated indoctrination. And you know what I'm saying, like we've been lied to for over 50 plus years about everything in America. It's time it's time everybody got the actual truth instead of fabricated propaganda. Yeah. So wait, you said Black Rock Rangers. Are you talking about actual Black Rock? You know, like Black Rock, the biggest investor into most of everything in society? Yeah, BlackRock and Vanguard, they have a stronghold on everything in American society. I actually seen that BlackRock needs to, especially the, we're gonna call BlackRock. But now, see, don't you heal him? Now, BlackRock, I found out, it's like every time I try to talk to you, you know, so I found out BlackRock, you know, they own, they have invested into Boeing 747, or just Boeing in general, and a lot of people that are trying to speak out about what's happening, such as, you know, like what's going on with the planes and all of this, they're mysteriously dying of heart attacks and everything. It's just, it's crazy. You can't speak about what's going on in America, but they just want you to comply with everything. And yeah, that's not going to happen. At least not with me. I didn't comply in 2020. I'm damn sure not complying now. Forgot to Yeah, they are the two biggest shareholders in the world, and I think the three-headed serpent is there's two different forms of the three-headed serpent that the Bible speaks about. One is the United States Corporation, the Vatican, and wherever the Queen is. I think the Queen's from England, but it is the British. I remember doing research about 5 years ago, and I came to find out that most of our taxes that we pay into society get distributed back into the British. So in actuality, we was not ever set free. But then the second one would have to be the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, and the United Nations. Those are what represent the three-headed serpents. That's two different forms. You see what I'm saying? So hello to the second person that's watching. Again, my name's Kilo Gaming TV, better known as Conspiracy Bandit. Sooner or later, I'm gonna start my own podcast channel. I already have it implemented and everything, but yeah, I would have been talking conspiracy theories on TikTok today, but you know how that goes, they ban you. So it is what it is. So that's what I do. I do research, study, and put two and two together. Not only that, I also call government officials in these democratic states and cities, and I expose everything that I know that they're doing in the wrong way. Yeah, that's one. But I do it all. You know, I call the FDA, Food Drug Administration, Food Drug Agency. I called them. I exposed them for allowing synthetic meat to be sold in grocery stores around America. I've called the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and exposed Bill Gates over the phone. The same with the CDC. I have personally fired somebody from the CDC, and I'm not sure because I called back the next day and they said that she was fired. So, I mean, it's up to us, American people, to hold these what we call elected officials or sworn.
Music sucks. I was at Lorna's truck stop when a bunch of cultists armed to the teeth showed up and started waving their book around. I ran. God, I hope everyone else got out okay.
If you pay attention, they keep calling these people a cult or a cultist. I mean, just because they are worshiping God. I mean, I know they're causing chaos and anarchy around the city and everything, but you know, this is exactly what they call MAGA supporters. They call them Christians and MAGA supporters cultists, just because we believe in Christ and everything. I mean, they like to use a lot of stuff as predictive programming. Like take for instance, how can I say this? Geostorm. If anybody's ever seen the movie Geostorm with Gerard Butler in it, it literally shows that they are using. Ooh, I did not see that sniper up there. All right, I gotta move. It literally shows that they're using weather modification, like they are using it as a weapon of some sort. I mean, if people really can't see it, then they need to wake up. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way Texas flooded within 24 hours over 40 feet. Shit. But yeah, there's no way that Texas flooded that much in that little of a time. And then you had a CEO of Rainmaker, the company, talk about how they was cloud seeding. I think, what, 2 days prior to the Texas flooding? It's because they're complicit. They are very complicit as to what is going on in America right now. Hence, what I told you earlier about the God particle, Higgs boson, with CERN. You know, they opened up that portal and brought demons into our realm. But let's face the facts here. In 2012 is when they found this God particle, and let him. I need that. I need that shotgun. But okay, I need a better plan. But anyway, so in 2012 they opened up the portal, brought deities and demons into our society, and these demons. No, I did not. Hollywood is very satanic. But in 2012 they opened up that portal. Yeah, they are putting it in our faces. But in 2012 they opened up that portal, allowed deities to come into our society. These deities attached themselves to beings, and that's when society really started collapsing. It was in 2012, but not only did we alter realities, timelines, we also brought these dark forces with us. You see what I'm saying? And that's why you have all of these people committing senseless acts of violence. You have people trying to mutilate children, and all of this. You got people that identify by they, them, and in the Bible it says they, them is also associated with demons. Demons call themselves they, them. You know what I mean? And they're disguising it as pronouns, and I mean, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. And people were so terrified in 2024 whenever they found out about quote unquote Project 2025, whenever the owner of Project 20, well, the creator of 2025 Project 2025 at the Heritage Foundation endorsed Kamala Harris. And I don't know how. Yeah, so much to learn. I don't know how people really don't understand that the logo for the Democratic National Convention in 2020 was literally the letter D, the number 2, and then the United States. So I mean, you put 2 and 2 together, bro. Connect the dots. It's literally what they've been chanting in the streets. It's literally what was on the pamphlet in the movie called Leave the World Behind. That was produced by Barry Sotoro and Michael Robinson. So, I mean, yeah, they put stuff in our face. A lot of people don't see it. They say it's just entertainment purposes, and nah. It's like all these games, in order for like games to be popular, they have to put bits and pieces of the truth inside the game. You know what I'm saying? Not only not only do they have to put the truth, they also have to cover it with a lie. See what I'm saying? Like, take for instance, everybody used to sit here and talk about UFOs and all of this was a conspiracy, and now all the people that were saying that it was a conspiracy theory, now they believe it's true because the government came out and told people that UFOs are not from outside of this quote-unquote world. It's from inside the ocean. I mean, I'm a firm believer in the Bible, especially Genesis chapter 1 verse 6 through 12. I firmly believe in that. So yeah, that's what I really believe on. Not what I believe on, I believe in. Shut up. Alright. But yeah, once I get my podcast channel up and started, I won't mind sharing the information. You know what I'm saying? I will tell the truth on there like I am doing here. But you also got these people that are sitting here saying that men can be women and all this, and it's like, that's not what God set it out to be. He didn't set it out to be men being women and women being men. He didn't set it out to be that. Ooh, what in the world? But he didn't set it out to be that. He only made 2 genders, male and female, and then you got these people that are sitting here talking about men can be women, women can be men. But at the same time, they're trying to push this ideology upon the youth. You know what I'm saying? And society does not agree with that. Not one bit. So I guess it's good the second person away that was sitting here watching, because I'm talking conspiracy theories. But I mean, the truth has to come from somewhere, Come on. There you are.
This game was really interesting.
Oh yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting. I like the ending. I like the ending. I wish I could have finished Far Cry 6, but I started getting too carried away with conspiracy theories and everything and all that. So, yeah. I mean, me personally, I'm probably the biggest conspiracy theorist that you would ever know. But the reason being is because, you know, like take for instance, there was a dude named Edward Snowden that leaked classified information about the United States federal government, such as the NSA, the National Security Agency, spying on Americans through their electronic devices, such as cell phones, TVs, all that. Little does everybody not know, you know, it's not a conspiracy theory. He really didn't leak anything that the public didn't know about. That's just the fact of the matter is. The federal government has been using something called FISA, which is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, to spy on Americans without a warrant. That's how they caught most of the people from January 6th. I mean, that's, you know, it's not a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy theory anymore. It's the actual truth. So,
Up and running. Then the resistance can use it as a refueling depot. Nice job. Hell of a job liberating that place.
but yeah, like you said, this game is good. The ending is amazing.
I think they finally found one.
Held our ground together.
Okay, I'm gonna hire you.
The more people will be willing to help you fight back.
I gotta get out there. There's somebody. That must have been new. I ain't never remember a door ringing. Like, you know what I'm saying? But no, I like the ending, especially with it tying into religion. You know, the seventh seal. Well, the seventh seal
Shot an angel
being broken.
blank in a thing kept.
And then it's just pure chaos from there. Then the explosion and all that. So yeah, I mean, I like this game.
Raid was insane.
Yeah, it was insane.
Gotta move. Cover me. Stay sharp. Hey.
Hey. Like you said, it was insane. But one thing I wish that you could do in this game is just go completely prone.
Seeing the explosion made me believe that's what it looked like if Yellowstone erupted.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Yellowstone is close to erupting. I'm not even going to fabricate. We've had so much volcanic activity go on. Not volcanic, earthquake activity go on. I wouldn't be surprised if Yellowstone erupted like today. But me personally, I know what Aleph and Tav is. It is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. In 2017, we had that solar eclipse. But in 2017, we had that solar eclipse that went from, I believe, northwest of the United States down to southeast of the United States. And then we had one in 2024. It put a perfect X on the map. But there was, right before that, in October of 2023, we had a yearly solar eclipse. So it made the sign Aleph and Tav, but that perfect X lines up with the New Madrid fault line. And I'd be surprised if the New Madrid fault line don't go. You know what I mean? Granted, I actually live near it, roughly about 4 hours away. So I mean, it's not far, but it's a scary. I mean, it's not scary. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you got God on your side, but oh, you can't die from a pistol because.
His return is nearing.
Amen. His return is nearing. But that's why the National Guard for Missouri and Michigan were down in St. Louis doing a 3-day preparation event. Then we had 50 out of 100 U.S. senators be issued satellite phones for a disruptive event. And right after that, we had 60,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate.
In the sky was the clearest sign.
Yes.
All right, let's get going.
Yes. I see a lot of people don't really know this. You know, so since we're speaking about, you know, God and all of this, so remember I said Baal, B-A-A-L. Well, that is also a abbreviation for chemicals on the compound table known as barium and aluminum. Barium and aluminum is BAAL, and believe it or not, that's what they're spraying in our upper atmosphere via chemtrails. So I did some research on that and come to find out most of the symptoms, or most of the side effects that barium and aluminum have on the human body, it's the same symptoms as you know what, C19. Yeah, and then, oh my goodness, I made contact with food distribution centers across America under the Biden administration, and what caught my interest in order for me to talk to them was, well, what made me contact them was something piqued my interest. I was just sitting here reading the ingredients on, you know, like food from the store and everything, like cereal, peanut butter and everything. Oh, I didn't know that she was in here. Anyways, peanut butter, noodles, all that. Most of the food on there, it says contains a bioengineered food ingredient. So in 2018, this is what they told me. They said in 2018 they got a call from the FDA. Yeah, Bill. He was. I mean, it's on there. Yeah. In the actors' names, yeah, it spells out BAAL. But in 2018, they got an email from the FDA to go ahead and put that it contains a bioengineered food ingredient on their nutritional facts. So I asked them. I said, "What kind of ingredient is it that it is bioengineered?" And they told me sugar. So we have processed sugar in our food, which is actually not good for the human body. And to be honest, America is #1 in obesity. I mean, we have parasites in our body that, you know, controls us. It tells us whenever it's hungry, so we feed it all this sugar, and yeah, everybody's like, oh, you're fat. No, it's the parasite that's in your body that is causing you to be that. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, in 2018 they got that email about processed sugar and all of this, and everybody wonders why America is here. Hold on real quick, I'll look this up just to make sure it's a proven statistic.
Good news for conservationists, potentially bad news for fishermen. The Department of Fish and Wildlife will be funding a new tag and release program for the endangered white sturgeon. Anyone found to have caught one will be fined, so leave those sturgeon alone. Or, if you catch one, throw it back.
Hey, I almost died.
The top 4 right now with the high incidence and survival rates is Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, and the United States report high cancer incident rates alongside high survival rates, a paradox explained by advanced healthcare, effective early detection in aging populations. China, the United States, India, and Japan reported over 1 million cancer cases each in 2022, largely due to their large populations, even when non-melanoma skin cancer is excluded from the data. So basically, how do I stop this music?
Right away.
I'll still have arrow. So basically, I'm just gonna leave that person there. So basically, all this processed sugar, because to be honest with you, it's lab made. We are actually born with cancer cells in our body. It's the sugar that feeds these cells and causes us to be really, really sick. But I did read somewhere where they said that cancer is just a whole clump of parasites together. I could be mistaken. And see, this is not information that I'm reading off. Besides the cancer rate worldwide, everything else I've said I've not read off. But yeah, I mean, they had a lot of stuff in plain sight. You know what I mean? When God built this earth, he didn't plan for pure death and destruction of a lot of innocent people. Like take for instance, here in Kentucky, because that's where I stay at. I stay in Kentucky. Sadly, it's ran by Andy Bashir, somebody that's pushing the trans ideology on the youth, making it illegal for you to for conversion therapy. But I forgot what I was about to say. I seriously forgot what I was just about to say. And I've never flown on this game. I've not ever flown on this game. I don't think.
Heading this way.
Would you look at this? Do you see what I'm saying? People cannot see the subliminal messages in games. It's crazy and it's mind-blowing to me. There's just a lot of subliminals. Wait.
I need to land this. I need to land this and pick that person up. Yeah, there's a lot of subliminals in this game. I see 2 piggies. A lot of subliminals in this game, just like there's subliminals in Grand Theft Auto 5 and Far Cry 6 and all the movies on and TV shows on Nickelodeon, and it's just a lot of subliminals everywhere. You know, they don't hide nothing. It's all in plain sight. You just gotta be well educated and on research to know what is actually going on. Like, everybody's like, oh, the Freemasons are not satanic. Okay, the 33rd degree Freemasons, the Master Masons, yes, they are satanic. They don't worship the same God that we worship. I mean, it's pretty evident, you know what I'm saying? Their symbols align with Satanism. Like Washington, D.C., if you look at the back of the dollar bill, you see the pyramid with the Aussie and I. You'll see that in the streets of Washington, D.C. You'll see a upside down pentagram with the White House being at the southernmost tip, and it's missing a line on the pentagram, which means they're practicing black magic. You'll see the compass and square, the the Freemason logo, and then right around the Capitol building of the United States, it's the owl, Moloch, or Moloch, however you say it. The same owl that they worship at the Bohemian Grove in Monte Rio, California. So I mean, there's a whole bunch of satanic stuff going on in America. But if you use that same pyramid that's on the back of the dollar bill that has the words Novus Ordo Seclorum, which is translated in Hebrew, it is actually the New World of Ages. They're also known as the New World Order. But the Aussie and I in Washington, D.C. is north of the White House, probably like 6, maybe 7 blocks, and it is a Scottish Rites Master Mason temple. So I mean, the Freemasons have a how can I say this? They have a hand into what's actually going on in America. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain, but there's so much stuff to tell everybody, from the satanic cults, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, Barack Obama not being born in Hawaii. He's actually from Kenya, moved to Indonesia. In Indonesia, his name in school was Barry Soetoro. Barry Soetoro had a transgender nanny. That's why whenever he became president of the United States of America, I don't know how, because he's not a United States citizen. He was not born in America. He was pushing the transgender agenda. And I mean, I don't care who don't like to hear it, but that's the truth. And that's why everybody, you know, he comes out and says, my husband Michael and I, yeah, we know Michelle's name was Michael Robinson. It's not nothing new, you know what I mean? That explains why his personal chef drowned it, because he knew the truth that Michelle Obama was a man, or Michelle Obama is a man. The same as, I think her name was Joanne Rivers or something. Yeah, Joanne Rivers. She came out and said the same thing, and she passed away. Allegedly passed away. I think what is happening is, I think these people that, like these celebrities and everything that are currently passing away, I think they're actually faking their death to get away from all of the satanic witchery that is going on and the political the political standpoint, you know, especially in Hollywood. It's very satanic. Very satanic. And see, that's just like Nancy Schaefer. She was a state senator. I forgot for what state. But whenever she was in Senate, you know, she was doing research and she exposed that the CPS is basically the number one way for the federal government to take kids and then profit them for money, better known as trafficking. Her and her husband was both found shot, and they labeled it a murder-suicide. That's just like with David Crowley. He was coming out with a movie called A Grey State. It was about martial law involving the citizens of FEMA and all of this, and him, his wife, and his child sadly was found deceased in their living room. They labeled it murder-suicide. And then what was his name? Phil Snyder. He worked for black budget programs, working for the federal government, digging deep underground military bases. He clarified that there's 131 deep active underground military bases connected via Mach 2 in a tunneling system spread it across America. And there's 1,477 of these DUMBs, or deep underground military bases, worldwide. I need to get over there. Well, him. Damn. He was found deceased. Sadly. Who's got you? Sadly, he was found deceased. That's just like, who else was it? You can't get that? So let's see. Oh, that's just like the retired Buffalo police officer that was in New York. Black American. He, that's just for future purposes, just in case anybody's wondering who he is. But he came out with a car that ran on water, and coincidentally, a gunman walked into the top center, and he was there, and he ended up getting hit in the crossfire, and he ended up being killed. So, I mean, seems like the government's trying to, the corrupt government anyways, it seems like they're trying to cover their tracks and all of this and that, and yeah. So if I had my notebook with me right now, I'd tell you a lot more, but
Yay, there is a lot to discover.
yeah, a whole lot to discover. You know, the founder of the World Economic Forum Klaus Schwab that has been taking pictures with Bill Gates, George Bush, Barack Obama, and all of these other politicians. You know, he's originally, so everybody knows what a World Economic Forum is. If not, it's in Geneva, Switzerland. But Klaus Schwab is originally from Germany. His father's name was Eugene Schwab. He owned a FEMA, well, we consider them FEMA camps, but at that time it was called a concentration camp. It was called Auschwitz. He was Adolf Hitler's right-hand man. So if you look in American society, the Denver International Airport, the one with the big blue horse with red eyes known as Blucifer, their runways are shaped in the same shape as a swastika, and they have Nazi murals painted on their walls. And then not only that, they have a capstone on the inside that has the Freemason logo on it. It's just crazy. And then you got what was that? The Georgia Guidestones down in Georgia. I don't remember exactly where at in Georgia it was, but it's called the Georgia Guidestones. It was actually the person that created it. His name was R.C. Christian. He was a Freemason. But I think it's spoken like six or 8 different languages. And at the top it said maintain the population of under 500 million to be in perpetual balance with nature. And then you got Bill Gates coming out talking about if we do good on vaccines, healthcare, reproductive healthcare. Well, this is how he said it. He said the world is heading up currently to 9 billion people. If we do good on vaccines, healthcare, and reproductive health services, then we can lower that by 10 or 15%. So, in other words, he's telling you that he wants to reduce the population. Then you got Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum pushing Agenda 2030, which nobody really knows about, but it'll be 15-minute cities, just like they have in China right now. A social credit system where if you're so basically, Agenda 2030 in small terms would be, if you don't have a good credit score, you can't leave your apartment. If you don't have a good credit score and say you're outside your apartment, you can't come back in your apartment. Or so-and-so. 15-minute cities is supposed to be reliable for people to commute by walking distance. But in actuality, they're actually called smart cities. And the acronym for SMART is surveillance, monitoring, analyzing, reporting technology. That's why you've seen all these flock cameras go up across America, is to invade our privacy. It's not to help the community, not one bit. And then the smart cities, 5G, and smart dust all correlate with each other. So I don't know. I just find it real suspicious that, you know, they tell us, like, take for instance, when the new light bulbs just went from real white to a black light on the street. They told us it was a malfunction, a defective light bulb, and society believed it. But here's the thing: that was a way for them to see who has the COVID vaccine. Because if you had the vaccination and you took a black light over it, it lit up. The patent for the vaccine was 060606, and so on and so on. And the vaccine contained luciferase.
They have one of those installed on the next block from mine.
That black light? And see, the
Yes.
that is crazy. That's crazy. And everybody thinks that the mark of the beast is not coming. Whole Foods in New York already has it where you don't use a card or a cash. It's just a swipe of a palm. We're in the end times. We're in the end times. See, I got on here to keep myself occupied for tonight, but I mostly got on live stream to talk conspiracies because but I mostly got on here to talk conspiracies because they don't push my content into other people's algorithm on Facebook, just like they didn't on TikTok. They never pushed my stuff into people's algorithm. So ooh, you little badger. Yeah, third one I done took out. But I mean, a lot of people are too compliant, man. Too compliant. And see, COVID-19 stands for Certificate of Vaccination ID, and then 19 stands for AI. You see who?
Another day in Montana.
Who do you see? I don't see nobody. But yeah, so COVID-19 stands for Certificate of Vaccination ID, AI, Artificial Intelligence. Bill Gates even came out talking about how the vaccine will alter people's DNA and basically remove a part of their DNA and replace it with mRNA, which is not good. It's just so much. It's so much. If you look,
I'm real.
Corona.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah, no. I think it was either COVID-19 666. Somebody broke it down. And that's, you know, the COVID-19 thing was real coincidental. How they kept saying that every state had a death toll of 33. It's just crazy. You know, the doctors and the hospitals and nurses, they was actually in on the COVID epidemic or the pandemic, the foolery. They was in on it. You know, they told us you can't go see your loved one or your friend or your family members while they was in the hospital supposedly dying to complications of COVID. Meanwhile, they're being put on a ventilator so they can't speak for themselves, and they was administered remdesivir, and that is actually what killed them. It was either that or the vaccination, because the vaccination caused myocarditis, which is correct me if I'm wrong, it's inflammation of the inner lining of the heart, or it could be the middle lining of the heart, but it's inflammation in the heart. And yeah, the vaccine is very dangerous. I didn't take it. even though there was jobs that was like I tried to apply for Red Banks one time and they said, oh, you need to be vaccinated to work here. No, I'm not being vaccinated. Oh my goodness. I'm not being vaccinated to work. That's out of bounds. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I am out of bounds. But no, you know, jobs was like, we'll pay you more on your paycheck if you get vaccinated. No, I'm not getting vaccinated.
That's crazy for not getting vaxxed and 3 years later and
Right, right. I mean, see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. So, in 2000, what, it came out 2019, COVID-19. Actually, supposedly, I went in 2018, November of 2018. I went to the doctor, got checked. You know, they swabbed me for strep and the flu. Both came back negative, but I lost my taste. I lost my smell. This was in 2018, November of 2018, when I supposedly caught COVID in 2020. Same thing, no taste, no smell. Body aches, cold chills, all that, headache, everything. Who knows? It could also be because they're changing the frequency a lot, that a lot of people are sitting here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're supposed to vibe at a higher frequency, not a low frequency. And I think that they are changing the frequency because whenever you change the frequency, you can manipulate anything, to be honest with you. Where is it? I don't know if you got it or not. Oh, there's the helicopter. Yeah, yeah, see, I've been getting more into like Christian hip-hop music. I don't know if you've ever, I know you probably heard of like Tom McDonald and all this. He's more MAGA than anything, but I listen to like ASAP Preach and Bryson Gray and Tyson James. They're more like my three go-to artists every day. I mean, Tyson James, he's very Christian. You know, I always thought like responding to violence with violence was not the answer. I know that in the Bible it says vengeance is his. But I mean, you know, we have God-given fundamental constitutional rights that was given to us, not by. It's every time I'm talking these things, man. They was not given to us by the government. We was actually born with them. Hence why they want to label everything misinformation, even though we're using our freedom of speech to sit here and talk to people. They want to label the truth misinformation. So not only that, they want to go after the Second Amendment. They want that Second Amendment so bad to be eradicated. It's not going to happen. Not in this society. It's not going to happen. We're not going to be like everybody in Germany was under Adolf Hitler. We're not doing that. No. American citizens own mass majority of the guns worldwide. We are the world's largest standing armed forces. there's nothing they can do about it. They can try to attempt, but I mean, that's not going to do nothing besides piss everybody off. And excuse my language, but you know, there's a point in time where you had enough with all the foolery and everything. You know what I mean? But yeah, the secular music, I actually stepped away from the secular music. Hold on. I stepped away from it. I don't listen to Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Eminem. I don't listen to none of them because most of the simple fact is most of these artists are out here having people praise them for selling their soul for rich and fame. Most of them are associated with P. Diddy, and they endorsed Kamala Harris. I don't support them. You know, whenever that fire happened in the Palisades, California, in Hollywood, well, not Hollywood, Las Vegas. Not Las Vegas. I'm speaking too fast. Los Angeles. When it happened in Los Angeles, Joe Biden went on national television telling everybody, we're going to pay in full restoration 100% for what happened in California. Who is we? You are depending on the taxpayers to foot the bill to rebuild these mansions for these celebrities. I don't support no celebrity. What really drew the line with me was whenever The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Oprah Winfrey went on national television begging for money for the donation for the fund for the people of Maui, Hawaii, and that money came up missing right along with over 2,000 children. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson already had sexual allegations against him. Oprah Winfrey ran a all-girls school in, I think it was Africa, somewhere in Africa, and then girls came up missing. I'm trying to tell everybody, but nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. They don't want the truth, and this is why the government is not going to tell anybody the truth, because nobody's ready for it. They are going to depend on people like me and all these other conspiracy theorists out here. I don't even like being called a conspiracy theorist. I'd rather be called a conspiracy realist. Or conspiracy truth seeker. One of them two. But, you know, they're going to depend on us to sit here and tell the mass population the actual truth. And the mass population accept and believe that, and then that's when they'll start putting everything out on the table. Because see, everybody's complaining that Donald Trump, he sent the National Guard to... Correct. And that's what really irritated me. You know, these celebrities are so out of touch with reality. They're very demonic. They don't care about the human population. They don't care about civilians. The only time they care about a civilian is whenever there's money involved. Oprah, she is one evil demon. I'll tell you that. One very evil demon. And it's not a coincidence, you know, that she accepted a $500,000 donation from Kamala Harris's administration to speak with Kamala Harris on her national television, or for her to endorse Kamala Harris. She received another $500,000, making that a total of $1 million. But you know, everybody's talking about Donald Trump is sitting here sending the National Guard to Washington D.C. and Indiana and Chicago and all of this other bullcrap, and I'm like, with all of this crime being committed, there was just what, over 50 people shot in Chicago during the Labor Day weekend, and 8 of them died. And yet the mayor, Brandon Johnson, and J.D. Pritzker don't see any crime rise in Chicago. What they're doing is they are lowering the numbers on purpose to make it seem like the crime rate has dropped in their state. That way they can keep receiving federal funding that gets funneled right back into their pocket. But nobody wants to see the truth. You know what I'm saying? So, and to be honest with you, I got a lot of time on my hands. So, I mean, conspiracies and research and just telling the truth, I do it all the time. But once again, I do go off on government officials. I expose their little satanic plan. I let them know that I know and that most of society knows. I expose it all. You know, everybody's sitting here complaining, just complaining. This is what I'm looking at.
Prison camp. Maybe you can start there.
Okay, but anyway, so you know, a lot of people want to just be sitting here complaining about everything. They're talking about all white people are racist and all this. I'm American before anything, and before an American, I'm God's child. So I mean, I don't see where I'm racist at. But you know, they sit here and tell me that all the time, especially on social media, and I try to elaborate to them, you know. They say Donald Trump is racist. He's causing the division. Well, when Jesus comes back, he's not bringing peace. He's going to cause division. He's going to separate the weak from the strong. That's called division. But theoretically speaking, right now in this time frame, the only one that caused division was Barack Obama. They divided us between political party. They divided us between race, gender, and economic status. And if we cannot come to some kind of agreement, you know, that's the reason why my favorite Bible verse is Ephesians 6. Well, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. That's my favorite Bible verse of all time. So, but like I said, I can go on and on and on and on and on for days. I mean, for days. And you know, I did some they like to speak in numbers and letters. So I looked on Gematria. Well, I appreciate you being here for it. But you know, I did some digging on Gematria, and I typed in the name Kamala Harris, and the numbers that popped up was 714. So I'm just sitting here, you know, reading through the Bible and everything, and I look at Revelations chapter 7 verse 14. One second. What was it? Chapter 4:17. Chapter 4. No, it was chapter 17, verse 4. Okay, I'm back. So it's chapter 17, Revelations chapter 17, verse 4. And remember, it was, no, her Gematria number was 174. In the book of Revelations chapter 17, verse 4, it says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. If you look at a picture of Kamala Harris, she has everything that this part describes in the Bible. And then after that it says, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. And then it just keeps talking about it from there on after. But I mean, if people don't really see that the Bible is telling everything that is happening right now, I'm just saying everybody needs to get right with God and repent. So I mean, you know, Genesis chapter 1 verse 6 through 12, it really speaks about the kind of evil that is trying to deceive us in America or on earth right now, such as NASA. They're trying to deceive us. That is what their name actually stands for in Hebrew. When you translate it, it means deceive. Not a coincidence that their logo also has a serpent tongue in it. But you know, I'm a firm believer in the flat earth. I wholeheartedly believe in flat earth theory. But the reason being is because of Genesis chapter 6. Well, chapter 1 verse 6 through 12, it says, and God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he seas. And God saw that it was good, and God said, let the earth bring forth grass, and the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. I mean, just Genesis chapter 1, verse, just a whole front page. It tells people how God actually created earth, and yet they still don't want to believe it. They would rather follow deception. It's crazy. Like if my TikTok channel was still up and running, I'd give you my TikTok channel so you could go on there and see how I do things. And I mean, even though the longest I ever been in a live was probably like 20 minutes. Every other time it was just boom, 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 back to back to back to back to back. I just kept getting banned and shut down and losing TikTok live access. It's just crazy. But you see, everybody calls us Christian. Well, they call us Christians crazy. They call us conspiracy theorists crazy. They call us MAGA supporters crazy. They call us white men crazy and racist and misogynistic bigots that are in a cult. You know, I've heard it all. I've been called transphobic and homophobic, even though in the Bible it does say to love thy neighbor. And you know, I tell them all the time, no, it's just a sin, and I'm not going to condone in sin. I mean, just because of my beliefs, I get labeled as something that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you got time with your hands, I would suggest listening to ASAP Preach, Bryson Gray, and Tyson James. They will pull you from that secular music and make you not want to turn back to the secular music. Such as like Lil Nas X and Cardi B and Sexy Red and what's his name? Lil Uzi Vert. If you say his name slow, it's Lil Lucifer. Sam Smith. I mean, there's a whole bunch of these artists that are very satanic, and they brainwash a lot of people with the secular music. If I could tell you one thing to pull you from that secular music, it would be to listen to Tyson James, Bryson Gray, and ASAP Preach. I mean, because they are very Christian. They're pro-American. They firmly believe in the Bible and the God-given constitutional rights. And they seriously mean what they say. Like, you know what? I know YouTube is YouTube, I don't own any rights to this music. This is just me trying to put somebody onto some music. Let me go here. I mean, like, Tyson James has got music that would keep you occupied for probably a whole month and then thereafter. He's got one called Ep List, one called My Buddy, which is referring to the Second Amendment. Got one called Cancel Pride. Got one called Waymaker. Got one called Beautiful Life. One called Proud American. Bryson Gray, Forgiato Blow, and Tyson James, they got one called MAGA Party. He's also got one called Two Genders. Less White, Gucci Glock, Holy Forever, Rittenhouse, Get Behind Me, Monkeypox, The God I Serve, Pride is the Devil, let's see, Roe v. Wade, Stay Asleep, Sodom and Gomorrah, Gun Law, Fight, Mask Off, Bodies, Division, Straight, Demon Month 3, Cutthroat, Beta, Demon Month, God Wins, Rock Bottom, Give It to God, Strong Man, Game Over, Not Done, Pronouns, making a song about the pronoun people, Raise Them Right, Christian Illuminati, referring to what is his name, E40, 2024 Rebel, Unholy. It was a remix of Sam Smith's song Holy. Empire of Lies, Seek First, Flipping Tables. He's got a song calling out all the pedophiles. Trying to see if there's a Crusader, Everybody Balenciaga, AR, Monster, Neuropath Gang, Death Row. He's got so much music that can keep you occupied for so many months. I've been listening to him for like 2.5, almost 3 years now. I'll play one for you real quick if you're still in here. Let's see. There's one that I wanted to play. I think it was that. No, Pride is the Devil. Even though it is. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here's one.
But trust me, God wins in the end. One day disaster gon' strike. What you gon' do after this life? Gotta hit him with the facts. God got the win in the bag. I'm in there, you getting it sad. They pushing Satan now, but God wins. And everybody hating now, but God wins. I ain't playing around, so what you saying now? It's no debate about if God wins. So give him the dub. He gonna give you the wrath, cause you didn't want any love. Smug. You tried to rest in your past, but it seems like you didn't wanna budge. What? You better get with the plan, or you gon' be getting the hand. I read the book and we win in the end. Don't give Satan the book, cause he'll get you the pen. World gone crazy. Gon' fade away like a daisy. Go ahead and take it away, it won't phase me. People will burn cause the servants are lazy. Take no. I want the wicked and people be making the jumps. Mocking my God and they all gon' be paying the toll. God wins, case closed. God wins. You might be indoctrinating kids, but God wins. He gon' cut the power to your grave, cause God wins. Thinking you gon' get away with sin, but God wins. It don't matter if it's flat or if it's spins, God wins. You might be indoctrinating kids, but God.
So he's got that one. He's got this one. I'm gonna skip past this song.
Only in his hand, I can tell if only. You gotta know that I was rock bottom. Yeah, I was rock bottom. Okay, I'm overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of my testimony. I'm only in his hand. I can tell a phony by the cronies in his camp. You thinking that you know me, homie? You don't know the man. I've been down bad, bam, but I had to make a choice. choice. Surrounded by the enemy, I'm down to be the voice. Today it might be sorrow, but tomorrow we rejoice. I refuse to be hollow, cause God filled the void. I'm a passionate man. I remember all the cold nights. I was buddy with the low life. My soul was dark, there was no light. I'm gonna die in my sin, there was no fight. Hey, when the plot gets thick, how many know that my God's in the midst? I shoot my shot, I am not gonna miss. I've been by to serve God and I'm not gonna quit now. You put anointing on me. I was so lost, now I'm free. I am just glad that he put all my sin on that tree. I'm just a broken man bending the knee. He threw all my shame in the sea. I am just glad that he put all my sin on that tree. Not perfect, never claimed to be. God is my rock and it's plain to see. I put in work, it ain't no thing to me. I was rock bottom when he came to me. Yeah.
So that's one that he has that I really like, but this one here is called Twisted. And it's about the devil having people twisted.
Devil used to tell me jump, I said how high. I was nothing but a puppet and a proud guy. I would drown my sorrows, I was bound by that residue under my nails until I found Christ. About the time I turned my life around, that's when the rubber meets the road. If you want to shine bright, he'd above for you the gold. That's when you find out if you a sucker in your fold. But he won't give you too much, crush you with the load. Just stay meek, don't let the devil creep. He'll let you rise to fame and pull that rug under your feet. I did that too. Remember being in that shoe. I slayed the sin, but didn't want to be in that suit. I'm sick of losing every single test. You'll be defeated when you mingle with that evil pest. You got a family, you about to be a single mess. You had the fire in those eyes, but now they twinkle less. That dirty devil took a mile and you only gave him a foot, but that foot counts. Shut that back door, we at war. You better look out, stay sober. Don't let him ever catch you drunk, unless you wanna be the devil's chump, man. Devil got you twisted. He'll take you to the pit and keep you there longer than you predicted. Man, that devil got you twisted. Why you didn't resist it? You swore that you would never be addicted, but that devil got you twisted. You lying, don't listen. He tried to take you light and he persisted. Man, that devil got you twisted. He just know you gifted. Now bow your head, it's time to get enlisted, cause that devil got you twisted. Taking places that you thought you...
That's who I really listen to on the daily. If I'm cleaning, if I'm cooking, doing anything, I'm listening to Tyson James. Like, he's my go-to artist that I listen to probably 24/7. That's because he keeps it real. He tells his struggle that he used to do, fighting addiction, all of that, you know, and he turned his life, gave his life to God, and you know, God gave him a family, God gave him a wife, gave him a career, allowed him to see the truth, and allowed him to use his career to speak the truth that he was shown. I really, that's, like I said, that's my go-to artist. Long story short, not too long ago, he had a Orby gun in a video on Instagram, and his daughter was crawling around on the floor. Apparently the liberals got a little butthurt over an Orby gun, and they called CPS on him, and CPS came to his house, and long story short, they ended up telling him to show them where his gun safe is and all of this, and come to find out the person that was the caseworker was a liberal, and they came to his house at nighttime, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, that's just some of the music I listen to. There's more hardcore Christian rap that I listen to, like let me see. like this one. This is what I always listen to as well. His hat says God over
All
God.
this LGBT crap is same lie, different day. You can't pick and choose like you in line at the buffet. Like today I'm gonna be trendy, but tomorrow I'll be gay. All you demons hollow when you falling for the prey. I get all up in your face, you flaunt pride. You fly that rainbow flag, you thought you on the wrong side. Thinking I won't stand for truth, you got the wrong guy. Your side of the fire came upon us, they all died. It may not be raining down now, but God is always on time. They say that pride is the ultimate sin. I'll never fold, I shine bright. I'm too bold to be dim. I'm not a troll when I go shop, I'm seeing multiple shims. I'm too cold with these drops, I ain't too old to be him. Pride is the devil. Fly that rainbow flag and you gon' die with that rebel. Pride is the devil. Pride is the devil. I don't rock with pedals, so I ride with that metal. Pride is the devil. Pride is the devil.
I mean, he's authentic. He tells it how it is, and yeah, you know, sound like somebody that I voted for. But I mean, yeah. See, actually, I came up with my own song. I'm gonna let you hear it. Just real quick. Let's see if it's on this one. Here it is. And yes, it does have cussing in it, but it's because I'm trying to get my point across to these Democrats and satanic
When they
people.
implement this shit, they tell me what y'all gonna do. They going after kids that's indoctrinated in the schools. First they take away our rights, end up in camps just like the Jews. We got the U.S. Constitution, show them how the right move. It's time to shut the system down, call it Operation Ghost. Political parties, they corrupt, I'm talking about them both. You locked a 4-pounder weed while Hunter Biden doing coke. I keep my tour, everybody think this shit a joke. And can't be whole cool. You a listen looking bitch, I ain't scared to start a war. I'm keeping hollows in my clip, pipe down real quick. I'ma tell you how it is. You try to take away our rights, we'll fuck you up in this bitch. I ain't done yet.
You see what I'm saying?
Letitia James making threats. Hold on, I'm strapped for combat, keep these weapons in a vest. Hold on, they give illegals everything, Americans getting less. Just like Tyler Perry, they submit up in a dress. Trans, fuck the NSA, they peeping through your phones. Don't believe what I say, take a look at Alex Jones. Gucci Mane and Kodak came back home as a clone. Charge Trump but not the Clintons. What the fuck is going on in Joe Biden? Let me tell you some wild. Yeah, yep, you sniffing jealous hair that make you pedophile. Yeah, you a worker 9 to 5, they couldn't even walk a mile. Understand what goes around comes right back around like a hula hoop. Cock it back, I shoot. Got you leaking juice. You got security, but that shit don't make you bulletproof. Fuck your red flag laws, keep rifles and pistols too. They tryna start a civil war, don't believe, hold on, hear the proof. Yeah, they shut down these Walmarts and turned them into FEMA camps. That's where we headed if we don't unite and take a stand. Leave the border wide open, but TikTok is getting banned. Understand that there's 2 genders. If you born a girl, you not a man. They did 9/11, we invaded Afghanistan. Fuck a court date, they thinking I'm a straw man. We financial slaves, they move us like a pawn man. Dressed for combat, basically, I'm a strong man. Now they keeping us divided between gender and race. We don't like what's going on, we can vote and make a change. They gon' kill me for this, but to die is the game. Protected by the First Amendment till they put me in a grave. And they killing all the kids that's listening, drinking and drain the chrome. Look at Monsters Inc. They put it in your face, they see you out of line. They send CPS to your home, I switch cheese. My front door, you try coming to my place. They know who I am, shit, I'm probably on a watch list. Middle fingers for every Democrat that they flock with. I ain't talking about a celebration way I pop shit. They started the beef, so what's coming, they can't stop this. Tell George Soros we gon' show up with a couple straps. They use mass shootings to further the agenda. We dressed in combat gear with a red MAGA hat. We out here on the front line, middle fingers to pretenders up.
You know what I'm saying? Put everything that is going on in society into a song and release it. They can silence me on Facebook, TikTok, any other kind of social media. No matter what, still gonna be talking. Thanks to the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. See, I used to make all kind of music. As you can tell, I am a rap artist, but I'm also a conspiracy theorist. I am a Christian.
If that's right.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm a Christian. I'm a hip hop artist.
Don't allow them to silence you.
No. They already know the only way that you can silence anybody is to silence them forever, and it's not gonna happen. It is not gonna happen. I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky and expose Clintons. Maybe Hillary. But no, yeah, they're not gonna silence me, not one bit, you know. I've been doing conspiracy stuff for like 7, 8 years. I've actually, the first thing that I ever heard was from Edward Snowden. Then after that, I was working whenever I was 18, and one of my friends, one of my friends that I was working with at a warehouse, he told me to look into the Illuminati, so I started doing research on the Illuminati, then started doing research, and it's just been like a continuous thing since like 2000 and, matter of fact, before Edward Snowden. I'd have to say the movie 2012 is what really brought me into, you know, doing research as to what is happening on the global scale, but what's happening in America. Edward Snowden got me started, and then of course the friend that I worked with. But yeah, that's who I am. That's what I do. I mean, you know, I actually exposed what is his name? Hold on. Jacob Frey, a Democrat. He called for local, state, and federal action to curb gun violence, emphasizing that cities like Minneapolis should have the authority to enact strict gun control measures if higher levels of government don't. This is a quote out of his mouth. Why should you be able to have assault weapons? Why do you need these high-capacity magazine clips? That's from his mouth. High-capacity magazine clips where you can reel like 30 bullets off before you even need to reload. If the federal government or the state government is not going to take the necessary steps to protect my constituents, let me do it. So they like to use this wording, assault styled weapons or weapons of war or assault rifle. First and foremost, the weapon that they're trying to clarify that is an AR-15, they're trying to say that it's a weapon of war. AR-15s are not used in weapons. Like, they're not weapons that are used in war. They're thinking of an M4. It's semi-automatic, just like a pistol. Average day pistols, like modern pistols, they're semi-automatic, just like an AR-15. But what gets me is, he said, why do you need these high capacity magazine clips? It's just called a magazine. And so what? AR-15 holds 30 rounds. You know what I mean? Let it hold 30 rounds, because my pistol, I can get a magazine. I can get a 50 round drum mag from my pistol, and I can still conceal carry it. Well, I can't conceal carry a drum magazine, but you know what I mean? I can carry it, and I can protect myself with it. That's 50 rounds. That's 20 more rounds than a standard size magazine for AR-15. Like, I really don't get these politicians. They want to sit here and ban weapons for the American citizens that are law-abiding citizens, while they are protected by the same weapons that they're currently trying to ban. Like, I don't understand these politicians. I don't understand these government officials. You know what I mean? They come up with these gun-free zones where criminals still commit senseless acts of violence. But if we show up in gun-free zones with our protection, then we get criminalized. You know what I'm saying? Like, gun laws in America, they don't work. I just have a feeling that gun laws in America is just used to criminalize law-abiding citizens, to strip them of their Second Amendment constitutional rights, and just let the criminals run rampant. But this is what I said. I said, if us having an AR-15 is your biggest concern, then wait until you see the criminals that use pistols with a switch. And 30 rounds is nothing compared to what they sell for pistols. It's called a 50 round drum magazine, and FYI, my Sky 9 CPX2 Gen 3 can hold a 50 round drum magazine. And to be honest, if we want anything such as a fully automatic weapon, we have to pay a tax stamp and wait to be approved by the ATF. Or we get a binary trigger, which your governor, Mr. Tim Walz, wanted to ban in his state. So no, guns are not the problem in America. It's a mental illness, just the same as it's a politician's fault for enacting harsh gun laws that criminalize law-abiding citizens instead of criminalizing the ones that really deserve to be incarcerated for their crimes, and that's the criminals. Because if gun-free zones was really gun-free zones, we wouldn't be having these mass shootings in public schools and churches. I mean, really think about it. We do not have mass shootings at government buildings because there's armed personnel in these buildings. But they know it's a gun-free zone, and still nothing stops them. And one last thing, stop using these mass shooting events to further y'all's agenda of stripping away the law-abiding citizens' rights, such as the Second Amendment. Y'all know that we are not going to give them up willingly, so y'all's fallback plan is to create these mass shooting events to fearmonger people into compliance of handing over their guns. Meanwhile, y'all stay protected by the same weapons that y'all want to ban for the American citizens. Look at what happened in Germany when citizens surrendered their weapons. We will not comply, and that's final. And I will actually say this on a phone call. Like, I don't hold back. Not one bit. Not one bit, because whenever I found out that these corrupt, satanic demons that we consider to be politicians, when I found out that they work for us, we are their boss. We tell them what to do. It's not the other way around. They don't tell us what to do. Our paychecks pay their paychecks. You know what I'm saying? So they work for us. We are their employer. If we don't like how they are doing their job, by all means, you have a right to fire them. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And then, you know, not only is Minnesota trying to get rid of guns, Colorado is as well. Colorado, I think it's SB 25-003, bans the sale, manufacture, purchase, transfer, and I think possession of semi-automatic rifle a semi-automatic handgun with a detachable magazine and a shotgun with a detachable magazine. So it bans most of society's guns. If you get caught, it's some serious jail time in the state of Colorado. So I mean, I just don't understand why these, excuse my French here, but I don't understand why these damn politicians think that they can tell us your safety is not important when you come into our state. You can still use your First Amendment and say what you want to, but you can't have your Second Amendment in my state. Like, they think that they gave us these constitutional rights. They didn't. They're not a privilege. You see what I'm saying? They didn't provide us with these. No. These are God-given fundamental constitutional rights that cannot be taken away by no government official. Now, on another hand, my constitutional rights don't stop just because of a piece of legislation that you passed. That piece of legislation means nothing to me besides a way for you to trample upon your constituents' constitutional rights. I'm telling you, look, in school, I wasn't worried about it. But, I mean, now that I think about it, I should have been in debate class, because I can debate. I can go on for hours and hours about conspiracy theories. That's just me, though. But no, if you, 1 second.
Or most people, you over the weekend called.
Then you got Bernie Sanders and AOC supposedly on a Democratic ticket to run for what, 2028, and then you have Bernie Sanders up on stage with his elderly self talking about we're going to fight oligarchy in the United States of America, but yet he's an oligarch himself, making millions off a big pharma. But he's telling people that the vaccine's okay, yada yada yada. It's not. It's literally called the clot shot for a reason. Let me see. And if people really don't understand the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution, I don't think that they should be speaking about the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution. And if they don't know the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution and they can't speak about it, I don't think they should be passing laws to infringe upon people's Second Amendment rights of the United States Constitution. But here, there's it's almost like a pamphlet down in Texas. It says Second Amendment to the United States to the Constitution of the United States of America. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Right up under that, it says a free people ought not only be armed and disciplined, but they should have sufficient arms and ammunition to maintain a status of independence from anyone who might attempt to abuse them, which would include their own government. George Washington. That's words out of his mouth. Let me see what else. See what else I have here. So follow along with me here real quick. So according to history, the war between Ukraine and Russia started in 2014. This was something that the Democrats and liberals kept pushing, talking about some kind of memorandum or something. But if that's the case, and it started in between Ukraine and Russia in 2014, cool. But well, in 2014, Barack Obama was president and Joe Biden was vice president. Hunter Biden, which is Joe Biden's son, had a laptop that has some incriminating evidence on it. Joe Biden, quote unquote, becomes president, and under Biden's quote unquote presidency, the FBI director Christopher Wray knew about the laptop and not once came out publicly about what was on the laptop. Fast forward to January of 2025, before Trump's inauguration, Joe Biden pardoned his son dating back up to 10 years. That not only includes the Hunter Biden laptop, but also the gun charge and the tax evasion. Quote unquote, Joe Biden ran his quote unquote presidency, end quote, not to better this country, but he ran his quote unquote presidency to clear his son of all the charges that he was going to be convicted of. Not only that, he pardoned the whole January 6th committee, and he gave Anthony Fauci a preemptive pardon because he knows that Anthony Fauci was going to be found guilty for crimes against humanity. And don't forget that during Biden's presidency, the International Criminal Court, the ICC for short, had a apparent warrant out for Vladimir Putin for quote unquote alleged war crimes, specifically the unlawful deportation and transfer of children from occupied areas of Ukraine to the Russian Federation, end quote. Russia's not the enemy. Let's see what else I can tell you. Here you go. Democrat Biden appointee Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson said that the First Amendment was created to protect the government, not the people. And she's a Supreme Court judge. So here's my response to that. Actually, the First Amendment was made to protect the people, not the government. That's like saying the Second Amendment only protects the government and not the people. You should be ashamed of yourself for making that kind of statement, and you are a complete embarrassment to the American people. If you think for a second that the Constitution was made to protect you tyrants, then you shouldn't be working for the government, period. Wait, are you still here, bro? If not, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. So, for those that don't know, April 1st used to be the start of the new year, with March being the last month, when society used to go by the Julian calendar. Now that we go by the Gregorian calendar, New Year's is celebrated on January 1st. But did you know that the 1st of January was only made as the new year to remind people to pay their taxes? If you look at a turtle shell, the inside of the top of the turtle shell has 13 quadrants, and the outside has 28 quadrants. This is actually a way to see that we have 13 months with 28 days, because 13 times 28 is 364 with 1 day of rest, and the moon has a new cycle every 28 days. So the months that we currently go by don't make sense with the number they are associated with. Like Sept means 7, but we say it's the 9th month. Oct means 8, but we say it's the 10th month. Nov means 9, but we say it's the 11th month, and Dec means 10, but we say it's the 12th month. Every day after 28 that is in our current calendar, those are the days for the missing month, and that missing month is Sol. So it goes April, May, June, Sol, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. April 1st is the new year. That's just in case people didn't know. Share a couple more things with you. Let's see. I have so much stuff. I mean, basically everything I said I have here on my social media. Anyway, New Mexico Governor Grisham put a suspension on. This was under the Biden administration. The New Mexico Governor Grisham put a suspension on open and concealed carry in public for everyone for 30 days unless you was law enforcement. And then, of course, the Colorado one, SB 25-003, semi-automatic firearms and rapid-fire devices, concerning prohibited activity involving semi-automatic firearms and in connection therewith prohibiting the manufacture, distribution, transfer, sale, and purchase of specified semi-automatic firearms, and classifying a device that increases the rate of fire of a semi-automatic firearm as a dangerous weapon. Let's see. So this is going to probably draw. This is probably going to be the end of it. But one more. So the only drug Fauci allowed to be used for COVID was remdesivir. I'm not no doctor, I have no medical degree, but remdesivir has been proven to cause kidney failure, which leads to pulmonary edema. Officials are calling this secondary pneumonia from COVID. No, it wasn't. They are shutting down everybody's kidneys with remdesivir, causing their lungs to fill with fluid, and they are drowning them to death. They were killed in the hospitals. I've been trying to warn people that during the COVID-19 pandemic that they wouldn't let us see our loved ones that was in the hospital because of COVID. No, it was because they was administering remdesivir to those that was hospitalized due to complications, literally drowning our loved ones so they can further push their agenda of seeing who all they have control over and the depopulation agenda. I'm sorry to say it, you can't see that. And also, everybody, look up the patent number US 2003-0085296 space A1. This is for the people that don't believe in weather modification and weather manipulation. Look into this patent. I mean, if people want the truth, I'm willing to wake them up. Let's just put it that way. But, I mean, so, once again, my name is Kilo. On here is Kilo Gaming TV. To the government, to the corrupt agencies and organizations that currently are trying to dismantle and destroy our Christian country. They know me as Ghost, so yeah. Whenever I find out more information, that how long have I been live? 2 hours and 16 minutes. When I find out more information that can be longer than 2 hours and 16 minutes, or just longer than an hour, I'll be live streaming again. So, oh, and one thing, for the people in America that think that Donald Trump is sending in the National Guard to arrest citizens. They're not coming to arrest citizens. Yes, they've been federalized, giving powers, the same powers that law enforcement have. And yes, they are going to be in 19 states out of 50 states in the United States of America. When you're playing 5D chess instead of checkers, when you're playing 5D chess, y'all seen whenever he had stood behind Melania and Melania stood in front of him, that right there is how you actually play chess. Donald Trump is a mastermind in chess. So with that being said, you have to put your chess pieces in the correct position in order to win the game. So when the EBS, the emergency broadcast system, goes out and the truth is out there for everybody to see, the National Guard's are already in place to stop chaos from erupting. You see what I'm saying? They're not going after citizens. They're not going after law-abiding citizens. Now for you that are committing senseless acts of violence on law enforcement, innocent citizens, and federal agents, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they come for you. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised. You're burning government vehicles that are our tax dollars paid for. You're destroying property that people put their hard-earned money into. You're catching police vehicles on fire. Crime is running rampant, and that's the reason why Donald Trump sent troops to 19 states. That's the reason why he's sending them to 19 states. But I won't be surprised if they round up all the lunatics on the left side and Antifa. I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised. So that's that. Y'all been good tonight, so may God bless y'all. Nothing but peace and prosperity. And let's try to awaken everybody and find some decorum in society where we can all be together as one, which we love to call unity. Like I said, Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12, it talks about unity in times like this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, to all my Christian brothers and sisters, love y'all. And like I said, peace and prosperity. And I hope y'all have a blessed one. I've been good.